Hello, everyone. In a story that blends Hollywood nostalgia with behind-the-scenes tension, few tales have shocked fans of classic television quite like the revelation that Carol Burnett, the queen of comedy, America's beloved red-headed trailblazer, and the warm-hearted star of The Carol Burnett Show, once harbored an intense dislike for a certain actor, a level of animosity so deep that even decades later, those who worked with her still whisper about it as one of the rare times she ever let her patience crack. For generations, Burnett has been the picture of grace, humor, and professionalism, a pioneer who broke barriers for women in entertainment, turning sketch comedy into an art form and setting a standard for humility and kindness that few could match. So when word began to spread that there was one actor she simply could not stand, fans were stunned, because Carol was known for treating even the most difficult co-stars with warmth and compassion. But as insiders have revealed over the years, there was one performer, an on-set presence so arrogant, so dismissive, and so unwilling to respect her leadership, that he managed to get under her skin in a way no one else ever had. The story takes us back to the early 1970s, when The Carol Burnett Show was at the height of its fame, pulling in massive ratings and shaping the future of television comedy. Burnett had built an ensemble of comedic geniuses, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway, and Vicki Lawrence among them, each bringing their unique brilliance to the stage. But when guest stars were brought in, the atmosphere sometimes shifted. One such guest, a veteran actor with a reputation for being difficult, was cast for an episode that was meant to be lighthearted and fun. From the moment he arrived, though, something was off. Crew members recalled how he dismissed direction, scoffed at rehearsals, and treated Carol as if she were just another actress instead of the show's creator, producer, and star. Carol, known for her professionalism, tried to keep the peace, but as the week went on, the tension became impossible to hide. According to those present, this actor would openly question her comedic timing, rewrite jokes without consulting anyone, and even made a few offhand remarks about how women weren't funny enough to lead a show this big. That comment reportedly struck a nerve, not only because of its blatant sexism, but because Carol had fought tooth and nail to prove that women could run a comedy empire just as well, if not better, than men. By the third day of rehearsal, she had enough. In a rare moment of fiery assertiveness, Carol confronted him in front of part of the crew, making it clear that this was her show, that every person on that set was there because they earned it, and that no one, no matter how famous or seasoned, would disrespect her or her team. Witnesses say the actor tried to laugh it off, but Carol's icy glare silenced him immediately. It was a side of Burnett almost no one had seen, a flash of righteous anger that revealed the steel behind her smile. And though she kept her composure, the damage was done. The chemistry between them never recovered, and by the time the episode aired, audiences could sense the tension hidden beneath the jokes and laughter. For years afterward, she refused to invite him back, a quiet but powerful statement from a woman who rarely held grudges. What made this feud even more intriguing was that Burnett herself, in later interviews, alluded to moments in her career where she had to stand up to men who underestimated her. She never dropped the name outright, maintaining her trademark class, but those familiar with the show's guest lineup quickly pieced it together. The man in question had a reputation for ego clashes elsewhere too, having famously butted heads with directors, co-stars, and producers throughout his career. Insiders say that what made this particular incident sting so deeply for Carol wasn't just the personal insult, but the betrayal of professionalism. On her set, she expected mutual respect, and this actor had broken that sacred trust. In the decades since, people have speculated whether she ever forgave him. Some say she did later in life, after he himself faced career setbacks that humbled him. Others insist she never spoke to him again, choosing instead to let silence speak louder than any public feud ever could. Still, for those who know Carol's legacy, it's telling that this remains one of the only stories where she allowed anger to show, not because she was petty, but because she cared so deeply about protecting the integrity of her work and her people. Her castmates, particularly Tim Conway and Vicki Lawrence, often joked that you never wanted to be on Carol's bad side, not because she'd yell or lash out, but because that rare look of disappointment from her could freeze anyone in their tracks. One actor pushed her to that breaking point says everything about how toxic his behavior must have been. Over time, this incident became a kind of Hollywood legend, the story of the one person who managed to rattle one of the most gracious women in show business. It also served as a quiet reminder of how hard Carol had to fight to command respect in a male-dominated industry that often saw women as secondary talents. What's fascinating is how she turned that pain into power. Instead of letting bitterness consume her, Burnett channeled her frustration into her work, delivering some of the most memorable sketches of her career afterward, as if to prove once again that no amount of arrogance could dim her brilliance. Fans who revisit the episode today can't help but watch closely, searching for the cracks in her smile or the subtle sharpness in her tone that might betray what she was really feeling. And yet, in true Carol Burnett fashion, she still managed to deliver laughs, because even when she despised someone, her professionalism never faltered. The tragedy and the triumph of this story lie in its duality, a reminder that even the kindest hearts have limits, and that sometimes strength means knowing when to draw the line. Carol Burnett's hate, if it can even be called that, wasn't about vengeance or malice. It was about protecting her vision, her dignity, and her right to be respected as a woman leading one of television's most groundbreaking shows. In the end, her quiet victory spoke louder than any feud ever could. While that actor's career faded into memory, Carol Burnett went on to become a legend, honored, beloved, and eternally respected. Proof that grace under fire can outlast even the worst encounters. And though she may have truly hated that one actor more than anyone, it's clear that even in that hate, she taught the world something profound, that standing your ground with class can sometimes be the most powerful act of all. Thanks for watching.